You have been waking up in the middle of the night, your eyes snapping open at 3:33 or 4:44 a.m., feeling a strange, heavy stillness in the room. You aren't afraid, but you are restless. You feel a sudden, sharp disconnect from everything you once called home. Lately, the conversations you used to have with friends feel like sandpaper against your soul. You find yourself sitting in rooms full of people, watching their lips move, hearing the vanity in their stories, and you realize you no longer have the urge to interrupt. You no longer have the urge to explain your side of the story. You are experiencing a divine silence. Notice the physical weight in your chest. That pressure that used to be anxiety has transformed into a solid core of lead. It is the weight of a truth that no longer requires a witness. You've noticed the headaches, specifically right between your brows. A pulsing pressure that comes when you are forced to engage with the theater of the world. Your body is literally rejecting the frequency of explanation. You are tired, not the kind of tiredness that sleep can fix, but a soul fatigue that comes from decades of trying to prove your worth to people who were committed to misunderstanding you. Do you feel that? That sudden coldness when a certain person enters the room? That isn't just an off vibe. That is your nervous system recognizing a predator that no longer has teeth. You used to shake when they lied about you. You used to lose sleep wondering how to fix your reputation. But look at you now. You are sitting in the silence of your own skin. And for the first time in your life, you aren't searching for a mirror in someone else's eyes to tell you who you are. You have stopped performing. The symptoms are everywhere. You've started losing interest in the things the Matrix tells you to value. The pursuit of status, the need for the loudest car, the need for the most followers. It all feels like ash in your mouth. You've started craving the woods, the water, the dark corners of your own home where the world can't find you. This is because your frequency has moved beyond the reach of their validation. You are becoming invisible to the ecosystem, and that invisibility is your greatest superpower. They call you cold now. They call you stuck up or distant. They say you've changed, and you have. You have transitioned from a seeker of approval to a container of light. You've noticed that when people try to bait you into an argument, your voice stays low. Your heart rate doesn't spike. You simply watch them. You observe the frantic energy of the narcissist or the toxic family member as they try to poke the old wounds, and you realize the wounds have healed into scars that are bulletproof. You are standing in a space where proof is a foreign language. Why would a lion need to prove it is a lion to a flock of sheep? It simply exists. You are feeling the physical manifestations of your divinity, the tingling in your palms, the sudden heat in your spine, and the absolute unshakable calmness in the face of a storm. You are no longer auditioning for a spot in their world. You have realized that you are the theater, the play, and the director all at once. The isolation you feel isn't a punishment, it is a sanctification. It is the universe clearing the noise so you can finally hear the frequency of your own name, spoken by the divine, without the static of human opinion. The reason you have stopped seeking proof is not a psychological shift, it is a spiritual graduation. For lifetimes, your soul has been trapped in a loop of external validation, a karmic cycle designed by the architects of this matrix to keep you tethered to the ground. But something has snapped. The spiritual cord that once linked your self-worth to the perceptions of others has been severed by a divine blade. You are no longer vibrating at a frequency that requires a reflection from the outside world. This is the stage of the great internalization. The spiritual cause of this sudden comfort in your own skin is a massive shift in your energetic blueprint. You have moved from the solar plexus, the center of worldly power and ego, up into the high heart and the crown. When you were operating from the lower centers, you needed people to see you, to hear you, and to agree with you. You were like a radio station trying to broadcast on a frequency that was crowded with static. But now the divine has moved your signal to a private, celestial band. You are vibrating so high that the low-density entities surrounding you literally cannot see the truth of who you are. To them, you have become a shadow or a threat because they can no longer find a hook in your spirit to pull. You must understand the law of spiritual sovereignty. In the unseen realms, you have claimed your throne. When a chosen one stops needing proof, it signifies that the ancestral curse of the people-pleaser has been broken in your bloodline. You are carrying the weight of thousands of ancestors who died seeking the approval of their oppressors, and you are the first one in your lineage to say, "My existence is my evidence." The universe has removed your need to know because it has replaced it with knowing. There is a profound difference between believing you are chosen and knowing you are chosen. Belief requires evidence. Knowing is a law of nature. The spiritual reason for your isolation and your newfound silence is a protective quarantine. The divine has placed a veil around you because you are undergoing a profound recoding. If you were still seeking proof, you would still be open to the parasitic energies of the narcissists and the energy vampires who inhabit your social circles. By removing your desire to be understood, the universe has made you indigestible to the enemy. They cannot eat your light if they cannot find a way to make you doubt it. This is why you feel so detached from the drama. You are watching a 3D movie while sitting in a 5D seat. The plot no longer concerns you because you have realized you are the author, not a character. Furthermore, you are being prepared for a high-level assignment that requires absolute emotional autonomy. In the coming shifts, you will be a pillar of light for others who are drowning in the chaos of the collapsing matrix. If you still needed proof of your value, you would collapse under the weight of their projections. The divine is tempering you like steel, removing the impurities of ego clinging so that you can stand unmoved when the world around you begins to scream for answers. You have been pulled back into the silence of the great void, the womb of creation, where no words are needed because all things are already manifest. This comfort without proof is the mark of the master. It is the spiritual equivalent of having a bank account so vast that you never feel the need to show off your balance. You are walking with the quiet confidence of the initiate who has seen the face of God and realize it looks like the reflection in a still pool of water. You are the I am in human form. You are not trying to be spiritual. You are simply being spirit. The shift is permanent. The veil is thin. And the reason you no longer need them to see you is because you have finally, truly seen yourself through the eyes of the Creator. When you stop needing proof, you become a glitch in their system. You must understand that the people around you, the narcissists, the energy vampires, and those deeply embedded in the matrix, have spent years building a psychological map of who they think you are. They rely on your reactions to regulate their own fragile egos. They expect you to defend yourself. They expect you to cry when they lie. They expect you to reach out and explain your heart when they intentionally misinterpret your intentions. But now as you sit in this divine comfort, you have become a blank wall, and it is driving them into a state of spiritual panic. The enemy's first reaction is a frantic increase in volume. Have you noticed that as you've become quieter, they've become louder? This is not a coincidence. When a parasite realizes its host is no longer providing a reaction, it begins to thrash. They are launching smear campaigns with a renewed desperation. They are whispering your name in dark corners, trying to find anyone who will agree with their distorted version of you. But here's the secret. They aren't trying to convince others. They are trying to convince themselves. Your silence is a mirror that reflects their own emptiness back at them, and they cannot stand the sight of it. Your lack of proof is a direct threat to their entire reality. They are terrified because they can no longer find your trigger points. In the past, they knew exactly which button to press to make you spiral into self-doubt. They knew how to make you feel like the black sheep or the unstable one. But as you've stepped into your sovereign power, those buttons have been disconnected from the machine. They press them, and nothing happens. You just look at them with those knowing ancient eyes, and they feel a shiver of true existential fear. They realize that they have lost their leash. They see that you are no longer playing the game. And if you aren't playing, they have no one to beat. They are losing their power over you, And in the spirit realm, a narcissist without power is a ghost. Notice the way they try to test your newfound peace. They will send a flying monkey, a mutual friend, or a family member to deliver a subtle jab or a piece of bad news just to see if your mask will slip. They are looking for a crack in your armor. They want to see you bleed just a little bit to prove that you are still one of them. When you respond with a calm, okay, or better yet, no response at all, you are delivering a lethal blow to their ego. You are showing them that their opinion of you has the same weight as a speck of dust in the wind. You aren't just winning the argument, you are transcending the entire dimension where the argument exists. The matrix itself is reacting to your shift. You may notice more glitches, strange coincidences, people from your past suddenly popping up, or even mechanical failures around you when you are in a high state of peace. This is the collective ego trying to pull you back into the frequency of struggle. The system is designed to reward those who seek proof and punish those who find truth. Because you have found truth within yourself, you are no longer a consumer of the Matrix's lies. You are a sovereign entity. This makes you untrackable. They cannot categorize you. They cannot label you. And what they cannot label, they cannot control. They will call you delusional because they cannot fathom a world where someone is happy without external accolades. They will call you arrogant because you no longer beg for a seat at their table. Let them. Their labels are just the dying gasps of a parasite that has lost its meal. You are witnessing the absolute breakdown of their influence over your life. Every time you choose not to explain yourself, you are reclaiming a piece of your soul that was stolen in childhood. You are standing in your light and the darkness is retreating, not because it wants to, but because it has no choice. The light doesn't fight the dark. It simply occupies the space. You are occupying your space, and the enemy is fleeing the radiance of your unbothered soul. This is the moment where we peel back the final veil. The truth is far more ancient and far more terrifyingly beautiful than a simple personality shift. You have entered the state of the living law. In the higher dimensions, there is no such thing as proof, because proof implies a separation between the observer and the observed. To need proof is to admit that you are separate from the divine, but to be comfortable without it is to realize that you are the evidence of God's imagination in motion. You are moving from the realm of doing into the absolute majesty of being. The theological reality of your life right now is governed by the law of divine radiance. In the scriptures of old and the hidden scrolls of the mystery schools, it was written that in the end times, the vessels of honor would be silenced. This silence is not a lack of speech, but a fullness of presence. You are currently fulfilling a prophecy that was written into your DNA before you were even born. You were sent here to be a silent witness. While the world screams into the void, trying to convince itself of its own importance, you stand as a quiet pillar of the original frequency. You are the still small voice made flesh. Think deeply about the mechanics of the universe. The stars do not have to prove they are burning. They simply radiate heat. The ocean does not have to prove its depth. It simply carries the weight of the world's ships. You have finally aligned your human ego with the natural laws of the cosmos. By releasing the need for proof, you have collapsed the timeline of your own suffering. Most people spend 80 years trying to build a case for why they deserve to be loved, why they deserve to be respected, and why their life mattered. They die with their case still open in the courtroom of the Matrix. But you have walked out of the courthouse. You have dismissed the judge, the jury, and the prosecution. You have realized that the court was a hallucination. The truth is this: you are a fractal of the Creator, and the Creator does not explain himself. When the divine moves, it moves with an absolute, terrifying certainty. When you sit in your room, comfortable in your solitude, without a single person praising you, you are tapping into the void frequency. This is the place where all matter is created. This is why your life feels empty to others, but full to you. They see a lack of social activity. You feel a density of spirit. They see loneliness. You feel the companionship of the stars. You are participating in the great work, the alchemy of turning the lead of human rejection into the gold of divine selection. You are no longer a star seed in training, you are a star seed in harvest. The reason you don't need to prove your worth to your family or your friends is because you have finally recognized that they are playing a different game on a different board. You wouldn't try to explain the rules of chess to an ant, and you shouldn't try to explain the rules of divinity to a person who is still obsessed with the 3D world. To do so is to leak your sacred energy. The universe has stopped you from explaining because it is preserving your oil. You are like the wise virgins in the parable. You are keeping your lamp full while the world runs out of fuel. Your comfort is your fuel. This is the hidden plan. The more you withdraw your need for validation, the more mass your spirit acquires. You are becoming energetically heavy. In the spiritual world, gravity works differently. The heavier your spirit, the more you pull your desires toward you without effort. This is why things are starting to manifest for you the moment you stop caring about them. The moment you stop needing the world to see you, the universe began to move mountains to serve you. You are being rewarded for your faith in the unseen. You have passed the ultimate test. You have looked into the darkness of being nobody in the eyes of man, and you discovered that you are everything in the eyes of the all. Now we reach the moment of sealing. You are not just a listener, you are a participant in a cosmic realignment. This final phase is about grounding this high frequency into your physical body so that it becomes your permanent state of being. You must move from understanding this truth to embodying it. As you sit there, I want you to feel the soles of your feet connecting to the earth, even through the floor, even through the pavement. Visualize roots made of liquid gold extending from your spine, anchoring you into the heart of the world. You are a bridge between the heavens and the earth, and a bridge does not move just because the wind blows. Your practical step forward is the sacred silence. For the next 7 days, when someone tries to provoke you, when someone tries to make you explain yourself, or when the voice of your own ego whispers that you need to clear the air, I want you to pause. Take a breath and realize that every word you speak in your defense is a gift of your light to someone who hasn't earned it. Practice the power of the unbothered observer. If a situation does not require your action for survival, let it exist without your commentary. You will find that as you stop feeding the fire of public opinion, the fire simply goes out. You aren't losing, you are starving the beast of your attention. Let us now enter the space of the divine activation. If you are in a safe place, close your eyes. If you are driving, simply hold the intention in your heart. Divine Creator, source of all light and architect of the unseen, we stand here today in the presence of your chosen. We recognize the long, dusty road they have walked. We recognize the scars of the black sheep and the weariness of the star seed. Today we declare an end to the season of explanation. We seal the leaks in their energy field. We close the doors to every parasitic entity that has thrived on their need for validation. I activate the golden armor of sovereignty around your spirit. From this moment forward, you are shielded by the frequency of I am. No weapon formed against your reputation shall prosper, because your reputation no longer lives in the mouths of men. It lives in the archives of the divine. We call forth the spirit of boldness. We call forth the spirit of peace that surpasses all human understanding. We command the heaviness in your chest to turn into the power of 1,000 suns. Repeat these words in the sanctuary of your mind. I am seen by the divine, and that is enough. I am known by the universe, and that is enough. I no longer audition for a world that is passing away. I am comfortable in my silence. I am powerful in my truth. I am the evidence of a higher law. I am sovereign. I am whole. I am home. As you breathe out, feel the last remnants of people-pleasing leaving your lungs like gray smoke. As you breathe in, pull in the electric blue light of the truth. You are now the one you have been waiting for. You have graduated from the school of mirrors. You are now the light itself. Go forth today and walk as if you are royalty in a foreign land. You don't need to speak the language of the locals to know your own rank. Stay in your power, stay in your peace. And remember, the lion never asks the sheep for permission to lead. You are the chosen one. It is finished, it is sealed, it is so. If this message resonated with your soul, claim your sovereignty in the comments by typing, "I am enough." Subscribe to this frequency to stay aligned with your true purpose. We are the chosen energy, and your journey has only just begun.